Hello everyone, and this is a different type of video than what I was doing previously, and that's because Gemini CLI just got introduced. And while I was making the Rust kind of walkthrough, I realized I couldn't explain to you what the timestamps were, and so now what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and set up Gemini CLI and hook that up with VEO-2 to try and see if we can create a 30-second video. Okay, let's get started. So currently I already have Gemini installed, so we're just gonna go through the steps on how to get it set up. The first steps are you're going to install it using npx or npm. If you don't have npm, just download npm for Windows or do a brew install for Mac. But I don't think Gemini CLI is supported by Mac. I could be wrong though. Once you've done the npm install, you'll have Gemini. One of the cool things about the Gemini is you can just log into your Google account and set up a G-Cloud instance. If you don't know how to set up a G-Cloud instance, I would recommend that you check out a video on Google Cloud and how to create a project. We're going to then cd into a new project or any work directory and click Gemini. So we're going to open up our Gemini CLI, and as you can see, I've created a new work directory called Gemini CLI. And to create a work directory, all you do is make directory and then the name, and then you cd into the directory. So, just for everyone's own benefits here, we'll just cd into the Gemini CLI, and then we will cd into the video temperature. Now you might be wondering, why do I have a Gemini CLI and then I have another folder called Vertex AI Creative Studio? Well, we'll get to that later. After that, you just press Gemini and you'll see Gemini opens up. And as you can see, I have this using one MCP server. That is what we're going to talk about next. And we're going to talk about MCP servers. And the way you can check for MCP servers is you can do /MCP, and you'll see that I have this VEO-2. And it's disconnected at this point, and we'll get more into the details of why it's disconnected. The reason why I have an MCP called VEO-2 is I have in here a settings.json. So in your directory, you want to do a .gemini, and then inside you want to do a settings.json. And in here, you want to call it MCP server VEO-2 command MCP VEO-go transport standard IO and transport standard IO. Now you don't need anything with the telemetry, so don't worry about that. And you don't need anything with the environment, and you don't need anything with the usage statistics enabled. The only thing you will need is the MCP servers and the VEO-2. Let's figure out how I do the MCP server. We have this Vertex AI Creative Studio, and the way we get that is we go to Vertex AI Creative Studio, and in here you'll see that we do a git clone of the Vertex AI Creative Studio. We cd into the MCP Gen Media, then we're going to run the servers. And how are we going to run the servers? Well, you have to do another. We're going to cd into MCP Gen Media Go, and we're going to do an install.sh. Now, for some of you that might work, but for others like myself, it didn't work. As you can see here, he does exactly these steps. It didn't work for me, so I did it the manual way, where I essentially went, downloaded, by the way, you have to have Go. And the way you get Go is you do Google Go download, and you just down the Google Go programming language, and you just download that. After that, you can verify that Go is there by doing Go version. After you've done that, you want to do a Go work sync in the MCP Gen Media Go directory, then do a Go install with all of these folders. This didn't work for me for the Go bin. So there's Go bin and there's Go path. So if Go bin doesn't work for you, try Go path. And then this MCP didn't work either, so I just left that out. So you can just do ls go env go path, and then you should see all of your MCP folders listed. After that, you're going to do an export project ID of gcloud config get project. You can either do this or you can hard code your project ID. Now, if you don't know what your project ID is, you can go to console.google.com. Sorry, you can do consolecloud.google.com, and you can see here at the top, it'll give you your Go ID. You can click it and you can just go that ID, just copy it and paste it. After we've got that done, we can then go to setting up our MCP. If you are on PowerShell, And on a Windows machine like I am, you're going to do something. As you can see, my VEO-2 is disconnected at this point. We're going to Control C out. We're going to do $env project ID equals gcloud Google config get project. Now, like I said, if you don't want to do that, you can always do your hard-coded one. But once you've done that, then to verify that this is working, you just only put this in, and you can see that nothing is available right now. So if I do this, as you can see, now my Gemini CLI video gen is part of my project ID. Then we can open up Gemini, and we can see that our MCP server is now live. How are we going to use VEO-2? Well, just like how we used one AI, I used another AI to give me basically this prompt, and you can copy it word for word if you want. I'm creating a Gemini MD file for Gemini CLI that uses Gemini model. I want it to create me videos. The limit is around 8 seconds for VEO-2. So if I say create me a 30-second video, I want clear instructions that it should separate the videos into 8 seconds each, or however many clips it needs until it reaches the designated clip length. Also, it talked about buckets, which I think are just folders. Then when you first create the VEO-2 and use the prompt, it'll actually tell you some things. So I just pasted it into ChatGPT, and this is what I got. Here we go. This is all great. What do we have so far? And you give me the .md file. I just want the MD file, so we're just gonna have it create me the MD file. Let's download the MD file. We'll save it in my downloads for now. Grab this guy, I'm going to copy him, I'm going to copy this guy. Now wherever you started your make directory, that's where we're going to go. And we're just going to plop that in here. And as you can see, after that, we should rename this to Gemini MD. .md, and let's try again. Let's open up Gemini once more and see, using one Gemini.md file, what is written in the Gemini.md file. Let's see if it'll tell me what's written. Sorry. The Gemini MD is in the video temp. I don't know why. Let's try it again. In video temp. Maybe these are caps. Make sure this is all caps. Gemini. Let's configured MCP soon. Well, let's just hope it's working. Create me a 30-second video explaining FFmpeg's peg timestamp versus seconds logic. Make it like I was using a whiteboard with on the board to explain. Right. Let's see. Planning the whiteboard video. Structuring the prompts. Yes, do it. Planning the breakdown, outlining the structure. Can you just output to my local folder? I didn't know this. The video must be saved to a Google Cloud Storage bucket first. Cloud Storage buckets, create GS bucket. We're just gonna call it video. Sure, temporary, sorry. Let's try that. There. The specified constraint is not valid. Something like that. The requested bucket name is not available, though it is shared by all you. Bucket temporary VEO. There we go. Okay, it created the bucket. Let's try that again. Use this bucket. I think that's what it wants. Okay, so great. I will use for the output. It seems I don't have the necessary to generate the video. Oh no. If these errors happen where you don't have access to these APIs, it'll just tell you. So yeah. Okay, enabled. Continue. All right, there you guys, there we have it. Here are the clips. I will be putting these together and doing a voiceover after this video. When working with video, everything is based on a timeline. As you can see here, we have a simple timeline marked out in seconds. Each point in the video has a specific timestamp, like 1 second, 2 seconds, and so on, which lets us identify any exact moment. Now, let's say you want to start a clip, not from the beginning, but from a specific point in a tool like FFmpeg. You'd use the -ss flag, the start time. Here, we're indicating that we want our video to begin at the 10-second mark. Next, you need to decide how long your clip should be. You can specify this with the -T flag, which stands for duration. In our example, we're setting a duration of 5 seconds. So we're telling our tool to create a clip that is exactly 5 seconds long, starting from the point we defined earlier. And here's the final result of our commands. By starting at the 10-second mark and running for a duration of 5 seconds, we've successfully extracted a new clip that covers the segment from 10 to 15 seconds from our original video. That's the basic logic of how timestamps and durations work in video editing. But if you have any questions or if you're getting stuck in any of the steps here, please leave a comment down below and I will make sure to reply back with any of my solutions or any of the problems that I faced while I was going through this. Otherwise, please like and subscribe. It helps a lot, and make sure to turn on that notification bell. Thank you.